Hi, everybody. Wow, a lot of beautiful people here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off by asking. All right, I'm going to start off by asking a question. So for the men in the room, how many of you men believe that you objectify women? Okay, we got a few takers. I wasn't expecting too many. How about how many women in the room have felt objectified? Yeah, if you guys looked around at that, the discrepancy was huge. And that's something I want to explore today with all of you. And I'm not coming here as an expert. I'm not coming here as someone to teach you. I'm coming here as someone that's on a journey. I'm coming to you as someone who just recently learned he's been objectifying women for 10 years and didn't know he was doing it. And I'm coming here for you, for the men in the room, to explore this with me and to listen to my story and to answer my questions with a curiosity of, could I perhaps be objectifying women? And is that okay, number one? And number two, if I am, what power is there for me in that awareness? So that's really what I want to create. Is everyone in for that with me?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So I want to ask another question now. So do you know those moments, men, when you just fall so deeply in love so fast with a woman and you're just, you're like heart's beating and all of a sudden she becomes the best thing on earth. She's like way up here and you're like, oh my God, I have to have this woman. Can anyone resonate with that?
Yeah.
All right, so would you all consider that would be putting a woman on a pedestal?
Yeah.
Great. So this was the transformative moment for me that started me on this journey. My life coach at the time asked me, so I was struggling as I normally did. My pattern was to meet an amazing woman, fall really madly in love, ask her out, and eventually win her, and then put her on way up on a pedestal and be afraid to lose her from day one. And so I would lose her, and I would be really sad, and this repeated over and over and over and over again. So I was talking to my life coach for hours every week about it, just like, and she's like, Joe, enough. You're putting her on a pedestal. And she's like, I have one question to ask you, Joe. What goes on pedestals? And I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean, what goes on pedestals? She's like, well, do human beings go on pedestals? And I started to get it. I started to get, no, trophies go on pedestals. And it just all hit me really fast, and I realized that for 10 years, I've been putting women on pedestals. I've been treating them like trophies. They were something to win. They were an object to achieve, not a human to connect with. My whole life, my whole dating life, I've been objectifying women. And it wasn't on purpose, it was subtle. I didn't even know I was doing it. So again, men, as you're listening to my story, I want you to be curious. Is there any chance, ask yourself, is there any chance I've been objectifying women? And we're about to get to the fun part. You're not bad, you're not wrong, it's not horrible. Because we're here to celebrate. And that's what I love that Brother Kayam brought up before. Is we're here to celebrate not only our successes, we're here to celebrate our faults. Or not even faults, just celebrate all of us, all the parts. And I want to celebrate objectification today, not because I think it's a thing I want to continue doing, because I don't. But I want to celebrate it because it's part of me. And there's no shame in it, because we're in a society that has built it into us from a young age. So there's no shame. When I was a virgin until I was 22. And there was a lot of shame in that back in those days. I had a group of friends who were womanizers. I was the only one that hadn't had sex. Everyone else had had sex when they were like 14. 14, 15, 16, and I wanted deep connection. So I really did. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I found a journal entry from when I was in 3rd grade. Melissa Go Alcantara was like the love of my life. In 3rd grade, I wrote that I wanted to marry her, but I couldn't talk to her. Of course, like, that was too scary. But I remember always being a romantic soul. I always wanted deep connection. And so when I was 17 or 18, I spent time getting to know women. I spent time on the phone with them, hours. I bought them flowers and I took care of them without sex, without relationship. And that, quickly I learned, was not okay. I was in the friend zone, and that's a bad place to be. And so I quickly figured out that to be a man, I had to have sex. And I had to have it as quickly as possible and at any cost. And so I learned, I watched, I observed my friends, I started to say their words, act the way they did, ignore phone calls, call back in a few days, acting like everything's okay, doing all the things, and it worked. It took 4 years, but it worked. And 22, I had sex, and that started my 10 years of objectification. I'm now 32, and just came to this awareness now. And the reason why I say there's no shame in it is because since I've realized it, it's given me power. It's given me my power back. Because I was walking into every party looking at every beautiful woman in my life as someone I could possibly date or have sex with. Every conversation had that underlying in it, in my subconscious. And my energy was everywhere. It wasn't on my business, it wasn't on myself. And it surely wasn't on the woman in front of me. That my soul's desire from that little third grader was completely extinguished. And I no longer was going after deep connection, I was going after how fast can I date this person so I can maybe have sex, so I can feel comfortable that I'm a man. So I can tell the world I'm now having sex with this beautiful woman and she is my partner, so I could have that partner next to me and feel okay. And now I've released that. And do I still objectify women? Yes. Because it's super ingrained in me. So I want to ask the question again, men, out in the audience. How many of you feel and believe that you sometimes objectify women? Got a few more hands that time. It's okay. I love you. I love all of you. And the awareness of that is where you can get your power back. And the way to do it is to share. And that's what we've been talking about, is to no longer hide, to no longer, I don't know what, does anyone want to share? I'd have to pass the mic, that probably gets complicated. We can do that a little bit, we'll have a panel. But the thing is, whatever your story is probably different than mine. The idea is if you can start to share what's happening for you. What I've noticed as soon as I started sharing this story is that the deep connections I longed for come super easily now. I have so many amazing female friends that I can cuddle with and hug and kiss on the lips. And you know what? I have another powerful thing now, and that's discernment. When women were objects put up on that pedestal that we all agreed we have, they were just if I could check a few boxes, beautiful, smart, funny, seems to like me, and doing big things in the world, I was like, okay, cool, like I must date this person. And the thing I wasn't taking into account was, what do I want? So this is where you get your power back. You have discernment. Every woman is no longer something to win, but every woman is someone to connect with, and then you get to choose, is she someone I actually want to go deep with? And that's where you get your power back, and you take it back and you can use it on your work. Use it on the big things that you're meant to do in the world. And have the intimacy you want, as well as love yourself and start to have compassion for yourself so that you can then attract your partner, that deep connection you truly long for. That's all I've got for today.